Hey guys, I'm Tim with Original Strength, and today I wanted to talk to you about moving through your full range of motion in the squat. The squat is a fantastic movement that helps strengthen our legs and our hips, but it also helps keep our joints mobile. It's really good for the knees and the hips and the ankles. And you might be thinking, whoa, squatting, Tim, squatting hurts my knees. Does it? Or do your knees hurt when you squat? That's not a trick question. But look, squatting is really good for the knees and hips because it moves them through their full range of motion, and that's how we keep our cartilage moist. That's how we keep our cartilage healthy. Some people don't like that word. But again, squatting moves our knees and hips through their full range of motion, and it also helps keep the ankles mobile because it moves the ankles through a decent range of motion too. But not all of us can actually sit in a squat because our brain won't let us. The reason your brain won't let you squat is probably because you're lacking stability, and when you lack stability, you're lacking mobility. And what that really means is if your brain's afraid to let you move, it's not gonna let you move. So if your brain's afraid to let you squat, it's not gonna let you sit down deep in a squat. You're gonna get stuck here, or you're gonna flex over and you're gonna fall over, and you just can't really rest in your squat. So I'm gonna show you two movements that can help restore your squat or allow you to move through a full range of motion when you squat, especially if you wanna use the squat as a strength training movement or a joint restoration movement. So the first movement is just rocking back and forth. Rocking is like, right now I'm in a squat, I'm just in a horizontal squat. But this is a great way to allow the body to move in a squat pattern through full range of motion in the knees and the hips, or at least full flexion. Obviously I'm not going through full extension here, but I'm going through full flexion. And most of us, like if we were sitting in a chair, this is about all the flexion our knees and hips get. So they're always getting extension when we stand up, but rarely do we actually get to put them in full flexion. And the squat is wonderful for doing that. So if I get on my hands and knees, put my eyes and head on the horizon and rock back and forth, I am giving my knees and hips and ankles some good love in that I am taking the joint through its full range of motion and flexion and keeping the cartilage supple and soft, which keeping the cartilage hydrated, which is good for the cartilage. The other thing I'm doing when I practice rocking is that I'm restoring my posture and giving my stabilizers the opportunity to turn on and remember how to do their job so that eventually maybe my brain feels safe enough to allow me to sit and hang out in the squat, which could be very useful if you wanted to eat some food on the floor, or if you were out in the woods and you had to go number two. So again, squat's a very useful movement or position. The other thing I can do to restore my squat, especially when my brain won't let me squat, is to use a door frame. So I've learned if I hold on to a door frame, I take the fear out of my brain, and my brain allows me to move through full range of motion. So I could either just hang out here by holding the door frame and I could breathe, which is very good for the diaphragm and the pelvic floor to breathe in this position. And I'm allowing my knees and hips to be in full flexion. I'm allowing my ankles to be in full flexion. And my brain's not afraid that I'm not stable, so it allows me to move. So I'm not gonna fall over anything because look, I'm safe, I'm holding on to the door frame. The other thing I can do with the door frame is I can exercise full range of motion in the squat. So I would use my arms as little or as much as I need to do this, but it literally could be just as little as I need to. You could use a finger, and the brain may say, oh, I'm okay, I got more input, more information. Timmy's not gonna fall, I'm gonna let him squat. And so I could do repetitions here, and now not only am I moving my joints through full range of motion, I am strengthening my quads and my hips through full range of motion and allowing them the opportunity to get stronger. And so if we show up often and we do stuff like the door frame squat, or we rock back and forth and we turn on our stabilizers, or if at the very minimum we move our joints through a full range of motion, we're telling our brain we want to move. And the brain in return is eventually gonna let us move and move pretty good. But it's also gonna keep our joints healthy, our knees and our hips healthy, our ankles healthy, and it's gonna keep our muscles stronger. If you want something from your body, you just have to show up and engage in that something, and your brain will give you that something back. Anyway, give those two things a shot. Learn how to move your joints through a full range of motion, and tell your brain you want to be able to squat. All right, guys, that's it for this week. I'm Tim with Original Strength, and we'll see you next time.